Gloria here. I'm back to start another reading vlog. Now, this reading vlog might turn into two parts. Just depends on how long it will be, and you guys will sort of see why it might be long. So, it is February 14th when I'm starting this. Happy Valentine's Day, friends. I'm gonna post this probably this quickly. It's gonna be a quicker turnaround than my other vlogs because it's gonna have all Valentine Day read or romance themed reads. But I am a DOE public school teacher, so we have off this week, and I'm also sort of prepping to go back to work, and I just had my COVID vaccination, the second part, so I'm trying to avoid going out if I can help it, just to make sure the vaccination is strong enough before I'm out in public. I'm also heading back to public transportation in about 14 days, so just trying to cover all my bases. So I figured I'm going to do sort of a really big reading vlog that might turn into a two-parter. I struggled a little bit this weekend finding reads. I've read two okay reads, one that I really didn't like. So I'm hoping some of these reads will sort of be a little bit more up my pace. So I'm kind of going to do a bunch of things this week. I felt super lazy this week due to the COVID vaccination. I just sort of watched Big Bang Theory and just relaxed. I also did do a lot of reading, but not what I normally do in a weekend. So, the first thing I want to do since I'm off, if you guys have been following me for quite a while, I normally, over the summer, I would read like a nonfiction book and I would take detailed notes. So, the book that I'm most interested in that I picked up that I'm going to focus on this week is Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it's an easy way to build good habits and break bad ones. And I was sort of sorting through this book, and if I read about 50 pages a day, I can probably finish this in like 7 days. So that's going to be one of my goals, one of my reading goals, and I'll probably kind of check in every single day after I do it. I'm probably going to do this in the morning before I work out. That's one of my goals. I want to finish this over 7 days, if not before I head back to work. So I have about like 14 days to complete this, which I think is definitely doable. So that's one thing I do want to read. And then I also want to get back into a sleep schedule that is more conducive to waking up at 5:15 and not 7. So I'm going to still wake up at 7 this week just to kind of keep my body in that, because if I let myself sleep later, it will be a disaster. But I'm going to sort of like, work out a little bit more and do all those things since I really didn't do it over the weekend. But I do have some fun readings plans and I want to sort of talk through it. So the book I'm going to start with is Gloria Chau's Rent a Boyfriend. I started looking at this last night, and this is actually set right around Lunar New Year, which we are currently in, so I think this would be a great read to pick up first. So this is going to be my first read of the readathon, Rent a Boyfriend. And then what I did is, because I'm really having a hard time choosing things, I decided to just kind of pick 10 other books that are romancy themed that I might want to pick up. And once I finish one, I'm just going to pick another. I'm going to do a random number generator and that book will get read. So I'm just going to kind of toss through the other books in this list. The first one is Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon, which I've heard really, really fun things about. And I actually do have an e-arc, so if I actually wind up reading this, I will get my NetGalley scar up. But this is about a young boy named Sunny who gets mistaken for a rock star. I think that's kind of cool. Another one that I'm really excited about, I've had this for so long, is Throw Like a Girl by Sarah Henning. This is her first foray into like contemporary fiction. It's about a girl named Liv who is a softball star. She winds up getting kicked out of her prep school, and she winds up getting sent to like the local high school, and she has to like take over being the quarterback on this team because they have an injured quarterback, and if she does this, she will be allowed to join their softball team. This one I'm really intrigued by, especially because since our sports lives have not been that great this year, my poor gymnastics season. A Vow So Bold and Deadly is also another one that I really want to read. This, I think, is the concluding novel in the Vow series. I have really liked that series quite a bit and hope to tackle it this week so I can say that I'm done with another series. Another one is Smash It by Francine Simone, and this is one that I bought recently, and I'm trying to kind of read the books that I actually buy. And this, I think someone told me, was like an Ophelia retelling from Hamlet, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me. That's what I thought I heard, but maybe I was wrong. And then another one that I picked up from the library was It Only Happens in the Movies by Hallie Bourne, and this is just another like contemporary read, which again, I've heard good things about. I picked it up from the library when I was there. And then I read Kiss My Cupcake by Helena Hunting, and I really like that one. And this is another one that was sort of in that shelf TBR that I made at the start of the month. So A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee is another one that I have to possibly read this week. I really liked Kiss My Cupcake, so maybe this one I'll like as well. I also have, I forgot to get it, but I also have, I think it's called, what is it called? Hidden Sins, which is the Stacey Abrams mystery thriller romance one that is over there. So I actually put that on that list as well. And then I have 3 ebooks that I'm going to be pulling from. Taste of Love by Jennifer Yan, which is like a contemporary baking show romance read. I think it comes out either this month or next month. I also have a copy of These Hollow Vows, which is a fae fantasy read, which always tends to have a romance, and Hot British Boyfriend by Christy Boyce, which I just got on my Kindle. So those are the 10 reads that I am hoping to maybe read this week. But I am going to start with Rent a Boyfriend. So what I'm going to do is I can actually tell you. Sorry, this is like such a long opening. But I have about 7 videos left, maybe 6 videos left in my YouTube queue. So I'm just going to kind of put them on as background noise, and I'm going to kind of start this. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to come in, check in with you guys, unless it takes me a little bit more while to read 50 pages. And then I'm going to go watch the newest episode of WandaVision and To All the Boys I Loved Before. And that's going to be my Valentine's Day. And then I'll probably watch a couple of episodes of Big Bang Theory because I'm just loving my rewatch. I really love all the couples in that series, and I just love Leonard and Penny. They are one of my favorite couples in that series to date. I really, really like it. So I'm going to go start Rent a Boyfriend, and I will check in with you guys when I read about 30 pages or 50 pages or when I'm done with my queue. Whatever happens first. So see you guys in a bit. Sorry for this long opening. It was really, really long. That's why I think this video is probably going to be 2 parts. Oh, and I also forgot the audiobooks I'm going to be listening to this week is Offer from a Gentleman, which is the 3rd Bridgerton book. And if I can finish that, because I have started that one, I'm going to read book 4 in the Bridgerton series, which I think is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. So, sorry for this long opening, but I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, I just had to check in because I had so many thoughts. I've only read 35 pages of this book, and I read another book by Gloria Chau, American Panda. That was another book that, like, I really struggled with the parents in that book, like, a lot. That wasn't my favorite book, but the parents in that book made me want to, like, toss my book across the room, like, anger. These parents might be worse than those parents. But, so this book, it follows a girl named Chloe. Her name is Jing Jing, like that's her name, but she changed her name to sort of be more Americanized, I guess, so people wouldn't make fun of her. But it's actually set when she's in college, which you don't get a lot of YA college books. The last one I read set in college was Fangirl. Like, that's a long time ago, but I've had some books like leading up to college. I read Time of Our Lives by Austin Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broca, Emily Weberly, sorry. And that was set like at a college tour. But I haven't read a whole lot of books that take place in college. And I really hope that YA genre sort of expands to that, because that's like a genre that you don't really see in young adult. You see it more in like new adult, but young adult not that much. But so Asian parents tend to be a little bit incensed about arranged marriages, and that tends to be a thing, like a real thing in these societies. Also, their parents, you have the thing of like dragon parents and like very, very attentive parents. So Chloe is going to college, and her parents are basically forcing her to get engaged to a man that she doesn't like. He's sort of gross. He's sort of disgusting. We met him in the first 30 pages, and I'm already like, ick. Like, all the ick. So she winds up basically renting a boyfriend, and his name is Drew. He goes by Andrew when he's meeting her parents, and he's just sort of there to sort of show her parents that she has a boyfriend. This is who she wants to be with. but it's fake dating. And it's set up by holidays. So right now we're in the Thanksgiving part of it. Which I'm really liking. It sort of reminds me, I don't know if it's just gonna be like the holiday breakup or if it's gonna be like other things too. I'll be curious because I read another book. I read Maybe This Time by Casey West that was only set like during holidays. So I'll be curious to see how this book is structured. So far, I really don't like the parents. I think Chloe's great, and I think Andrew is a gem. So I'm just going to keep reading. I have about 20 more minutes of videos that I need to watch tonight. One is the End of Bruce Project, and the next is Starlet Reed. She had a reading vlog she posted recently. And I think I have one more from Peace Love Books. So I'm going to read to page 50, and then I'll give you guys another check-in. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. So I'm checking back in. It's about 8:19. I did wind up finishing watching most of my YouTube videos, which is good. I also did wind up getting up to page 52 in Rent a Boyfriend. The one thing I didn't mention at the start of this is that this is a dual point of view. So you get Chloe's point of view and you do get Drew's point of view. And if you've been following me for a while with contemporary romances, that is my favorite trope. I love seeing both characters' point of views. I think it just develops the romance really, really well. And I prefer that in my romances. So I really like that we get both Chloe and Drew's point of view. Talked a little bit about Chloe, but Drew, he is basically in the service because he's basically been ostracized from his family. He wants to be an artist, and his family has basically said that they don't want him to do that. So he's sort of not with his family, and he kind of builds up this perfect persona to please parents, and it's basically fake dating, but it's fake dating on an extreme level. Her parents are horrible to her. And they say things that are just so gross and so disgusting that like really make me like really feel uncomfortable. And not even just like about her in a relationship with this guy that she doesn't want to be in with, but also like about her as like a person. And they talk about her virginity a lot. It really makes me uncomfortable. I feel bad for Chloe a lot of the time, but I also just like that they're getting to know each other. I think like right now it's more like he's trying to create this perfect persona so that they think that they're dating, and I can't wait to see where the story goes because she's so isolated and he is like so broken, and I really, really like it. So I'm gonna check in with you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go watch To All the Boys I Loved Before. I'm gonna go watch WandaVision. Because I didn't get to watch that previously, and probably watch a few episodes of Big Bang Theory if I'm being honest. But I'll check in with you guys tomorrow, and we will see what the day brings. Bye, guys. Here, I'm back. I did wind up waking up a little bit later than I had originally planned, but that is okay. I'm going to try tomorrow to shoot for an earlier wake-up time because I have to get used to waking up at 5:15, and it's a bit of a rough start. So I'm going to take like about an hour, and I'm going to do a couple of my Skillshare lessons, and I'm going to finally start Atomic Habits. I did start it a little bit, but I want to actually like restart it, and I want to read about 50 pages of this book today. This will be my nonfiction read of the week, and I hope to actually finish it this week. That's my biggest goal. And I have said in a couple of my past videos that I want to stop rewatching things. I'm actually going to try to watch one of the new documentaries on Netflix that I've been putting off, or maybe Disney Plus. Disney Plus has a couple of animal ones that I've been interested in, so I'm going to try to find something to watch. And I'm going to watch this. I'm going to read this. I'll read about 50 pages, and when I'm done with that, I will update you guys, and I will tell you what Skillshare lesson I've decided to start. So, see you guys in a bit. Here. So I do end up reading the first like 26 pages in Atomic Habits. It's definitely a book I want to take sort of slow. But basically, I find that book super interesting because, it's about habits and goal setting in a sense, but it's also like really making me think a lot about goal setting because it's, from what I'm learning, it's not really the goals that you set, it's the system that kind of gets you to your goal. And I think for me, I'm very much a goal setter. I've always been a goal setter, but I need to realize also that like my habits need to change to make me get to a goal a little bit easier. I'm really liking that book. I read about 26 pages. I'm gonna take, because again, I've said if you guys haven't been following like the past couple of days, my last reading vlog, at least the last couple of reading vlogs, I just got my COVID vaccination, so this past like 4 to 5 days I haven't done a whole lot, and I am going back to work next week. officially in a building. So I'm going to try to get myself back on a better schedule of working out and organizing my time and stuff. So I'm also in the middle of listening to An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, which is the audiobook I'm really enjoying, by the way. I haven't talked a lot about that, so I'll talk a little bit about that now. I'm like 4 hours in, but you basically follow Benedict Bridgerton and you follow Sophie, and in her books you always get the dual point of views, which I have loved. I said it earlier when I was reading Rent a Boyfriend, but this is basically like a Cinderella retelling, which is great. I love it. Um, but they basically meet at like a ball like a couple of years in the past, and Sophie winds up having to run away because she's not supposed to be there, and then her stepmother winds up kicking her out of the house, and they wind up crossing paths a couple of years later when she's basically being attacked, and he kind of saves her, and then she has to save him. It's really, really cute. So I'm really liking that book quite a bit. It's just fun. So I'm going to kind of listen to that when I do my 2 workouts. I haven't done 2 workouts in about a week, so I think it's going to be a bit of a rough run, but I'm going to try to do that, and then I'll check in with you guys about how I felt about that, how my workouts went, and then hopefully I'll get to start reading Rent a Boyfriend. I also do really need to do my Christmas crafts, but I might do that tomorrow and give my arm one more day to rest, because that's the only thing that really hurts right now is my arm. So I will update you guys in a little bit when I'm done working out and let you guys know what my thoughts about Offer from a Gentleman is. Bye. Here I'm back. It is about 11:30. I did actually wind up watching some of my TV shows, and I'm a little bit farther behind on than I would like. But I did also wind up getting up to page. I lost my thing. But I also did wind up getting up to page 72, and I feel like it is gonna sort of do like a time jump. But this book is one of the only books of like fake dating that I think it could have some dangerous consequences, because like her parents are really adamant that she married this certain person, and she's really adamant not. So she's wrapping up a lot in this fake dating, and I'm just worried for the both characters. I really do like Andrew as a character as well. He's very, very sweet. But Chloe has a lot going on. Chloe is dealing with a lot of stuff, which I didn't necessarily expect going into this read. The parents are definitely a big obstacle in this book, but I'm curious to see how it falls out. We just finished Thanksgiving, and now Chloe sort of has to figure out how way to keep this lie going. And yeah, but there are some moments that I really do like them together. I hope that sort of develops a little bit more. But her parents, boy, some of the things they say and do really want to make me throw this book across the room, which is exactly how I felt with American Panda. But there is some like abuse elements, like they're very, very verbally abusive to her, and I have a big problem with. But again, it's very interesting reading books about a culture that's not your own and just seeing this character's life, because I think it's very, very interesting. So I'm gonna read about maybe like 50 more pages and give you guys another update, but I am really enjoying it. It's very, very interesting. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Here I'm back. It is about almost 1 o'clock actually. I did want to get reading up to page 127 in Rent a Boyfriend. This is really very much formatted sort of like maybe this time BKC West, but there is some scenes that sort of built up to the holidays. But now we're heading into the Christmas season, or Christmas and New Year season, where Andrew and Chloe are going back to her parents' house to kind of keep the big lie going. And this is also like, it's very interesting. This book is very interesting. Her parents really make me want to throw my book across the room, and I think that's the point. I said I've read one other book by this author, Gloria Chau, in the past, and that was American Panda, and I felt very, very similar about her parents. But the elements of the book that really like are just boggling my mind is the focus on marriage and forcing your daughter to marry someone who they clearly don't like, so it could almost benefit you a little bit more. And also in this book you have like email chats between her and Andrew, but you also have chats with her parents, which just juxtapose the whole thing. I really love Andrew as a character. He's an artist, and I think his elements in this book is just really, really interesting, because his parents aren't in this book, and I think just watching him as he's sort of got sucked into this thing of being a perfect boyfriend is just really interesting. So I'm really excited to see what Christmas and New Year's Eve brings. I also did wind up watching an episode of Call Me Kat and Call Your Mother, which are just fun comedies. And now I'm watching, I've actually felt a little bit farther behind on my CW shows. So I'm catching up on Legacies, which I'm really liking. That's like just a fun show. That was a fun quarantine show that I found, and so happy that it's back. So I'm gonna go watching that, and I will update you guys when I get up probably like 1:25 in Rental Boyfriend, and I'll give you guys a check in later. Bye. Just checking back in. I did wind up watching a couple of episodes of Legacy. One of my characters has left, which I'm very, very sad about. I hope he comes back. But I really am liking that show. It's a show that like I started watching during COVID, and it's fun. I should really go back and watch originals and Vampire Diaries, but it's a little bit too much of a time commitment. But about Rent a Boyfriend, this book is making me want to like legit throw my book across the room because her parents are horrible. Like, there's no redeeming quality for these parents, like at all. The only highlight is Chloe and Andrew's relationship. That's the only fun thing about this book. Everything else is just horrible. Like, her parents are just evil. Like, not evil, but they're just very, very focused on one thing, and I think they're using the daughter as a prop and not as like a human being, and that's really hard. But I really, really do like Andrew as a character, so I'm going to keep reading and watching Legacies, and I'll check in with you guys when I get up to page like 200, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. Bye. Hey friends, Laura here and back. It's almost like 5:45. I did wind up doing a little bit more reading of Run a Boyfriend but by Gloria Chau. I keep getting her name mixed up with Chloe Gong because the character in this is named Chloe. But I'm really liking this book. I think it's a really interesting take on the fake dating trope, which I think probably is more realistic with the community that is featured in this book. I'm really liking it. I just love Andrew as a character. I think it's definitely more of an intense contemporary, I will say that. And I'm just curious like how this book turns out, like what happens to these two people. And I like that again, I've always said this. I like when we get contemporary books from both characters' point of view. I think it's definitely now they're forced to kind of get to know each other. That's kind of the situation that they're kind of put in, and I like that. I like when characters are sort of forced to get to know each other, and it's just fun. Like I'm really liking it. It's a fun read, but it's also giving me a lot of insight to Asian American cultures. I got it a little bit when I read um, American Panda, and there's a couple more that's on my TBR that I do want to read. But that is like a family and like a type of life I'm not that familiar with. So that's why I like reading YA, because you sometimes get like different point of views and different perspectives. Really enjoying it. I will definitely update you guys when I read like a quick 100 more pages and see where I am at that point. But I'm reading this book super fast, and I could definitely tell I'm liking this book a lot better than the last couple of books that I'm reading because it's definitely a quicker read. So I will update you guys when I can, and hopefully by then I will have finished Legacies that I'm in the middle of watching. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Here. It's been a bit. I didn't wind up updating much more last night. This reading vlog is going to be so long. So I just took a little bit of a reading break. But I did want to come in here and pop in and say that I did wind up watching To All the Boys I Loved Before, Always and Forever, Laura Jean, the last movie. It was adorable. Love Lois. Love Noah. I love Laura Jean. Can't think of her actual name. It was great. I also got to catch up on WandaVision. I also did make quite a bit of progress on Rent a Boyfriend when I was catching up on my TV shows last night. I watched like another couple of episodes of Big Bang Theory. I finished actually season 2. I'm now on season 3. It's a super, super fun show. This book is like one of those books that it really makes you feel bad for the character because they're doing fake dating, and fake dating can have some real consequences. Like, she's doing something to try to impress her family, but like what happens when her family finds out? These books always end up when the fake dating trope is always revealed, and I just fear for the characters when that is revealed. I really love Andrew as a character. He's very, very sweet. He's very, very mild mannered. And it's just a really, really sweet read. I'm really liking it. I just feel for the characters a lot because of the family dynamics about the fake dating and the culture that they're in, because I think it just adds an intensity to it. I'm also listening to An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, which is the 4th Bridgerton book, or no, the 3rd Bridgerton book? Yeah, I think it's the 3rd Bridgerton book. that one is a Cinderella retelling, and the one thing in common with Rent a Boyfriend and that one is Benedict is really into art, and so is Andrew, and I found that a connection. So I actually am going to kind of make some progress and kind of catch up on the TV shows. I want to finish Walker, Texas Ranger, MacGyver, catch up on MacGyver, catch up on This Is Us. I think that was it, and then I'll probably I'll come in every I'll come in on page 300 and kind of give you guys an update because that's kind of where I'm in. But yeah, I'm really liking this book. I fear that moment is gonna kind of crush the characters, and it's probably gonna crush me. I do like Chloe. I think her name is Chloe a little bit more than I liked the heroine in American Panda. And I really like both characters, so I'm definitely captivated a little bit more by this read than the previous one. But I'm gonna go start watching Walker Texas Ranger, the last episode I haven't seen, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, just checking back in. It's about 12:11. I do want to finish watching Walker Texas Ranger. I know that there's been some people haven't loved that show, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'll tell you the main reason I'm really enjoying it. I know so many of the actors in that show, like Keegan Allen, Jared Padalecki, Lindsay Morgan, other people. That cast is just very I have a lot of actors that I really enjoy in that show, and I love Keegan Allen so much, and I missed seeing him on TV. And I think it's sort of a fun premise. I really like it. I also did wind up getting up to page 300 in Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chau. Sorry, that was backwards. But really liking it. It has hit the climax of the story, and I feel like everything is just going to go to pieces right now, and I'm a little bit concerned for my characters. I will say that. But I do have some stuff to watch. I do want to watch I want to catch up on MacGyver, Good Doctor, and This Is Us. And then by then I should probably be done with this book. So I will give you guys one more check-in at the very, very end. Because again, I don't want this reading vlog to be super long. Unless I get 50 pages in at least to discuss my feelings. But we will see. But I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, I'm back. I did actually wind up finishing all my episodes of MacGyver, and one of my favorite characters from Lost. I didn't watch Lost regularly, but one of my favorite characters from that show made a cameo, and there was a little teaser at the end that he might come on the show, which would be so happy, but I doubt it will happen. But it was fun. It was a nice I think his name is Jorge. He was on Lost, and he had a cameo on Once Upon a Time back in the day. I like him. He's a fun guy. But I also did wind up finishing Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chau. I wound up really liking this book. I would give this book 4 stars. I thought it was a nice balance between a fluffy, romantic contemporary with also some hard-hitting elements about Asian culture, and it it definitely balanced those two things out, and I think I was really invested in the characters, and I could tell that because I was afraid of what was going to happen to them. I thought Gloria Chow handled the ending of this book in a really unique way. I also liked how the end of the book sort of went in a direction for the characters that I wasn't necessarily expecting. I also did like the progression of the parents and their relationship. I will admit, at the first half of this book, the relationship with her parents was really, really mean and horrible, but it did, again, books progressed. The one thing I wish this book had was some characters for Chloe to be connected to. She didn't really have that, and I think that was a part of the book that was a little bit lacking. Even so, that was just one element that I wish the book had, because it really just was her and Andrew the entire time. I also loved Andrew's point of view as well. I thought it was great. So I wound up giving this one 4 stars for review. Yeah, so the next book I'm going to pick up is A Taste of Love by Jennifer Yen. It's also another Asian inspired contemporary. I don't know why. I've been in again. I've been fascinated to pick some more of those up because that's not a culture I know a lot about. So if I can read it in a fun way, I probably will. So this one, from what I understand, is a bachelorette meets um the British Bake Off show, and I think that there's a romance tied into it. I've only read about 2 pages, so I can't give you that much of an update, but when I read a little bit more, it's also much shorter. It's only 300 pages, so I hope to tackle a lot of that today. So I'm going to go start that, and I'll update you guys when I can. And I'm going to go watch Good Doctor and This Is Us. So see you guys in a bit. Right here, I'm back. Ooh, sorry. That's a weird angle. But it is about 6:50. I did actually wind up catching up. I watched the last episode of This Is Us that I had to watch, which was really exciting. That show is such unique storytelling. And I also watched the last couple of episodes of MacGyver, and now I'm just watching some of my longer true crime videos. These are like close to an hour each, so I'm going to be here a while. But I'm pleased to report that I am about 19. I did get about 19% into and on chapter 7 in A Taste for Love. It's so funny that I'm reading this book literally back to back with Rent a Boyfriend, but this book is somewhat similar. But you basically follow this girl named Liza? Liza? I think it's Liza. I think it's Liza. I think it is. But so she works at a bakery with her mom, and she really wants to be a baker, but her mom is convinced that that's not an appropriate career path for her. Her mom runs a bakery, and her dad sort of runs like a restaurant, and they're sort of combined, and it's called Yin and Yang, which I think is just funny, and cute. That's like a cool concept. And her mom determined for her to find a perfect Chinese boy. That's like her goal, and she keeps like plying her with boys, and she's just not having it. She secretly dates people that her mom doesn't like her to, and she's sort of a little bit more rebellious, a little bit more than her older sister, who she's being constantly compared to. But her mom runs this cooking competition, or this cooking like baking competition, sort of like the Great Big British Bake Off every single summer. And that's sort of where we're heading. Her boyfriend, she also found out that her boyfriend's cheating on her, which is not good. And a boy comes and kind of saves that day for her. Like, he kind of stops her ex-boyfriend from like harassing her, which is very, very cute. But they're not getting along right now, and I just think it's fun. This book will make you so hungry. I will say that. It's making me very, very hungry. But the one thing immediately off the bat about the story that I like immediately is that Liza has friends. And I think that was something that I was missing from Rent a Boyfriend. But again, it's just really, really fun. Definitely makes me hungry because it has a lot of desserts in it. But I did get up to chapter 7, so I'm going to read a little bit more. I'll read a couple more chapters, and I will update you guys when I can. But so far, definitely enjoying it. Very, very, very much so. This is a one point of view story, so you don't get the male point of view, which I sometimes struggle with a little bit, or just definitely I prefer it the other way. But so far, really enjoying the story, and Liza's just a fun character. I like her point of view as well. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Right here. Sorry, I'm back. I did wind up getting a haircut, and I wound up dyeing my hair again, which was fun. But I desperately needed a haircut. My hair was so long, and it just was not what I wanted, especially because I'm potentially going back to work. No, we may not. I don't know. At this point, I just don't know. I'm just going to wait to see what happens in a couple of days and just sort of enjoy the rest of my vacation, because that's sort of where my head's at. But I did make quite a bit of progress on A Taste of Love by Jennifer Yen. I really am liking that book. It is quite cute. I'm about 60% into it. And I really do like the baking element. Basically what it is this mother that runs a baking shop really wants to get her daughter a boyfriend, and her daughter, Liza is just not having it. She does not want to follow her mother's rules. She's a little bit, out of sorts. Her and her mom are not on the same exact page, like, at all. She really wants to go to school to be like a baker. She wants to go to culinary school. She likes to bake. Her mother and father are really against that. So her mother has like a summer cooking competition for kids, and Liza really wanted to join the cooking competition and maybe win. Her mother thinks that's a conflict of interest, but instead what her mother does is make her a judge and make the whole competition only boys that she could potentially date. The boys we meet are super fun, and then there's 2 boys that Eliza met earlier in the summer that are kind of giving her a run for her money. I really like it, though. It's quite cute. I'm trying to see if I can charge it a little bit more. My Kindle, my actual Kindle has like bad battery life, but I do want to make some progress on that today. Last night I didn't want to doing anything exciting. I like stopped filming because my friend called and we were going to do something, but we're going to do it tonight instead. So I watched a little bit of Big Bang Theory, and that was my thing. But I am going to finish reading that book today. That is my goal. I'm going to try to read a little bit more and see if I can maybe crush my battery a little bit, see if I can like get it going. But I will update you guys when I read a little bit more. I did go to town and got my hair done. I do want to work out later, but I'm going to read a little bit and then I'm going to go work out. So talk to you guys when I read a couple of more chapters in A Taste of Love. Bye, guys. Here, I'm back. I did wind up taking a little bit of a reading break. I wound up working out, did a very intense workout, but it was good. And then when I was working out, I wound up listening to about 30 minutes. And when I was walking home, I also listened to Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn. I have to admit, this might be my favorite Bridgerton book so far. It's a Cinderella retelling. This one follows Benedict, which is the second Bridgerton brother, I think. And I really, yeah, he's Benedict because he's B. So he's the second child after Anthony. But yeah, I'm really, really liking that one. I think that might be my favorite book so far. It has like a servant and a Bridgerton brother romance. It has a Cinderella element. I really like that one. I'm really excited. And the next two are probably some of my favorite characters in the whole Bridgerton verse, like Penelope, and I think the next book is Eloise, so I'm really excited for those to finally get read because I really want to see those romances play out in a book because it's going to be like 4 years before we get those seasons because they're pretty far down in the list. But I also want to say that I did wind up getting up to 73% in A Taste for Love. There is a subtle mystery element that's sort of developing. Her brother is still a lot for me to take. But I do like all the side characters that we're getting. That was the one thing that I missed in Rent a Boyfriend. I do like the side characters. I love the baking elements. Again, this is another book that I would recommend you not eat if you're like trying not to have snacks because it does make you super hungry. I also like that they went to New York, which I am a teacher in New York City and I have been missing New York lately. So any books that have like a New York element, I really, really like. So I'm going to go read probably like to like 90% and then I'll give you guys another quick update. So talk to you guys in a bit. Here, I'm back. It's about 5 o'clock. I actually am at like 94% done, but I'm on chapter 26. This book definitely took like a sharp right with the mystery and the intrigue about the baking competition, which I wasn't expecting. There's a lot of couples in this book, and I'm kind of rooting for them all. Like definitely Liza and James is one couple, but then there's a couple of other couples that just kind of got tossed together. Really liking this. I just love all the elements of this book. I love the setting. I love the competition element. I love the bachelorette style elements kind of to it. It's really, really fun. It's a very, very fun read. Will make you super hungry. It's also very much like this would be a book that I would tell people to read in like 20 years. Like it's just like now it's a great book to read, but it's like a perfect time capsule because it has so many like references to like Tom Holland and TikTok and this and that. There's so many like subtle things, and I think it's a great like 2019 read for like that time period because it just has a lot of like subtle things that make it very much this time period of our lives, which I think is so cool. And most of the time those books come out like so many years later. I like that this one sort of does that in the present, but it's great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually going to go tackle the rest of it and then I'll come up and I'll wrap it up. But overall, really, really fun read and one that I'm definitely am enjoying. And when I come back, I'll wrap it up and give you guys my final review. But I feel like it's going to either be a 3 or a 4 or a 5 somewhere, but that was so vague. But very, very good read. We'll definitely read more by this author in the future. Hey friends, Gloria here. I'm back. Sorry, I just took a shower. But I do want to come in and say that I did want to finishing both A Taste of Love by Jennifer Yen. Really enjoyed that book. Very, very fun. A super quick pace read, like super fast. Really a fun read. I really liked how that book kind of was one point of view character, but it tackled so many different relationships in that book and had some really fun elements. It had a bakery element, it had a competition element. It also did focus on an Asian main character and the pressure young girls are put on to date. It was very different in some ways to Rent a Boyfriend, and it had a more like expanded world than just our two characters. They both had pros and cons. Like I think both of them did things in very, very fun ways. Really like that. I also was able to complete An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, which is Colin and Sophie's book in the Bridgerton series. Really like that one. I also downloaded book 4 in the series, which is Penelope and Colin's book, which is the book I've been waiting for. So really excited for that. I do have a Skype date with a friend. We are going to do one of those mystery boxes that she got a couple of months back, I think, if she remembers. But I'm gonna read A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kimmerer. This is the 3rd book in the Cursebreaker series. I was supposed to read A Hollow Vows, but my Kindle's about to die, so I will make that my next read when I'm done with this. I have really enjoyed the first 2 books in this series, and this one, I don't know if it's the last book or if it's the 3rd book. I can't find anything online, but one of my friends who reviews stuff as well, she says that she can't wait for book 4. So I don't know if that means we're definitely getting a book 4 or she just wants a book 4. But I'm really excited to dive in. I remember I read A Heart So Fierce and Broken this time last year and really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to dive into this. I will probably read about 50 pages and then I'll give you guys a quick update. How long is this one? This one's like, again, this is like a 400-page book. So we will see. I've been reading very, very long books, and some of them have been a success and some of them have not, but I'm really excited for this one. I really like the first 2 and really, really read them quickly, so hope that's similar. So I will read a little bit, and I will check back with you guys when I can. Here, I'm back. It's about 9:21. I did actually wake up early. I wound up I worked out a little bit. I read my Atomic Habits book, which was my goal for today. My original goal was to do some crafting because I still have not finished my Christmas calendars, but I don't have the right glue sticks, so I'm gonna have to push that until next week, or at least when they come in and finish some. I might do a little bit of it this weekend, but we'll see. I have to find some glue sticks and I don't know where they are. But last night I did wind up getting up to page 27 in A Vow So Bold and Deadly. And I really am enjoying this book like a lot. It's the 3rd book in the series. We left off on the end of A Heart So Fierce and Broken. That book focused on Lila and Gray, and it was in like a different kingdom, but there was a lot revealed in that book that kind of sets up this book. This book I think we get all of those characters' point of views. And I'm really enjoying it. I don't want to talk too much spoilers. I might actually cut this reading vlog off a little bit and do another one just so I could talk a little bit more spoileries. But I really am liking it. I also have to like catch up on This Is Us, which I wanted to watch. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to watch an episode of This Is Us, catch up on all of the other shows I need to watch, and then I'll give you guys a quick update. And then I think I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog because it is like a little bit longer. I thought that this was going to be a 2-part reading vlog. Think that it will be. So I'm going to read up to page 50 and then I'll give you guys an update and then I'll probably wrap up this reading vlog. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. I'm here to wrap up this reading vlog. I did say that I thought that this reading vlog was probably going to be a 2-part reading vlog, and it definitely is going to be, just because I really am not doing anything this week because I'm home. I'm still recovering from my COVID shot, so not really doing a whole lot. But I did actually wind up getting quite a bit reading done. So the first book I finished was Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chau. This book was just super fun. It's just a fun read. I really liked it. I wound up giving this book 3.75 stars if I have to think back now. Probably like 3.75 stars for review. I really like the concept. It's definitely an emotional contemporary with a fluffy twist. I really like the look at the Asian American community, and it was just a fun read. I would definitely read more by Gloria Chau in the future. I will say this book does have some triggers for abuse, especially verbal abuse. But other than that, I really wound up liking it and loved the dual point of view. The next book I read super quickly was also A Taste of Love by Jennifer Yen, which is another like very, very fun and fluffy contemporary with a baking twist, competition twist, and also Asian parents trying to get their daughter to marry who they want. I really like that one. Wound up giving that one 4 stars for review, and I'm really excited to see whatever Jennifer Yen writes in the future. And then I was also able to audiobook complete An Offer from a Gentleman, which is the 3rd Bridgerton book, and that is a Cinderella retelling, in other words, and that is Colin and Sophie's book. Benedict and Sophie's book. I really like that one as well. I wound up giving that one 5 stars for review. That was actually probably my favorite Bridgerton book to date. And I started reading about 50 pages of A Vow So Bold and Deadly, and I will talk about this in my next reading vlog. So let me know what are some romantic themed books that you have read recently, and I'll talk to you guys for our next reading vlog. Bye!